Okay, we are now streaming live. Hello, my name is Anna, and we're going live from Certified American Grown. We've started a new series called Farmer Fridays, where every week we'll be meeting with different American flower or foliage farmers and getting to know them a little bit better. This week, we're meeting with David Register of Fern Trust in Seville, Florida. Hey, David, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Anna?
Okay, still figuring this out, but we'll get the hang of it. So I have a few questions for you. And as you can see, viewers, David's shooting straight live from the fields. So with my first question, I've got, when did you start farming?
Pretty long time ago. My family's been involved in agriculture for many generations, and my dad was in the service. And got shipped out to Texas. Anyway, we lived out there till I was 14, and when we came back to Florida, pretty much right away, he put us to work in the fern field. We were really citrus. We grew a lot of oranges and tangerines and that kind of thing here in our area, and we had a few cows, and I think we had a total of about 12 acres of lead leaf at that time. So it was a pretty small operation. But it's grown over.
Awesome. And then tell me a little bit about Fern Trust. It's a group of farmers, right? Collectively?
Yes, it's actually a cooperative way to back, like I was talking about when we used to be all citrus, we kind of did our own thing and sold fern here and there to other shippers. In '83, we had a really devastating freeze come through here and killed a lot of our orange groves some of them were 100 years old. At that time, the market in Europe was really good, and you had to have at least probably 40 to 50 acres of production to be able to sell effectively on the European market for export. So we formed a cooperative with a few other growers here in our area. First still did all the growing of the fern and got everything ready. And then the company that I run now and work with at Fern Trust comes in and does the harvesting, packaging, and marketing of the member product.
Awesome. And then I noticed that in some of the pictures I've seen of Fern Trust that you're growing underneath oak trees. Is there a strategic reason for that?
Certain varieties that do better under oaks than under the artificial shade cloth. A lot of the asparagus type varieties, if you try to grow them under the saran, we have the real crazy temperatures here where it gets hot and then cool at nights, and we have real heavy dews. And so the dew, it'll fall through the saran and wet the fern. And then when the sun comes out and it gets really hot, it's like a perfect petri dish for all kinds of funguses to grow that the asparagus ferns don't like. Whether under the oak trees, they kind of shed the dew. They keep the dew from falling down, so it keeps the fern drier underneath and a little cooler also. So they just grow much better under there.
Interesting. And I know that this winter has been pretty cold, unexpectedly cold, right? Florida usually in your area gets a few nights that are a little bit cooler, but I think it was unprecedentedly cold.
Yeah, unprecedented, because like I was saying, we had those really well, but we did have a lot of cool nights. On a normal winter, we probably have 15 nights or so where it approaches freezing and there's danger of frost, which is an enemy of ours, of course. But I haven't added them up yet, but we had well in excess of that this year. And we had a couple of nights where it was extremely cold. Thank goodness we were blessed with not getting that Arctic blast that the rest of the country got. The jet stream kind of saved us from that. So we didn't get any snow or brutally cold.
Interesting. So we've heard a little bit about asparagus, and then the number one crop you're known for is the leatherleaf fern, right?
Yeah, leatherleaf fern. It first started getting planted back in the 1960s and quickly became the number one crop in this area just because it's so universal to use for so many different things. It holds up well, fills a lot of space and arrangements. It's got a neat kind of texture to it and an architectural look. So it's probably represents 40%. At one time, it was probably 80% of our sales. Now I'm guessing it's probably around 40% of our sales are in leatherleaf. And the other 60% is split between probably another close to 100 different varieties of foliage that we grow in.
I was just going to ask you what else you grow, but if there's a long list of 100, uh-oh, we lost video on David. But you guys got to, oh, there it is. It's okay. Yeah, so just tell us a little bit more about some of the other varieties you grow.
Well, we grow some of the more popular ones, of course, asparagus, a tree fern, a Ming fern, the different variegated and green pit, podocarpus, bottle brushes, aspidistra, plumosa, stringeri. I mean, there's just tons of morelias, monsteras. You can see some of the monsteras right back here behind me. That's become real popular lately too. So.
It's beautiful. Yeah, they're huge. Monsters, right? That's where they got the name.
We're into and needs some huge monstera. We've got plenty of it right now.
Okay. And that leads me to my next question. Do you have direct consumer shipping or buying options, or do you generally stick to wholesale?
We try to maintain a cold chain and ship through wholesalers that we partner with all across the country and into Canada. Occasionally, if there's places that aren't being served by a wholesaler that we have a relationship with, we will ship direct. We try to avoid that. Just for one, we really depend on our wholesalers to represent our product, and they do a good job for us. And also the cold chain is just so important, and making sure that stuff lasts a long time once you get it.
And then consumers, there's a few mass markets. For those of you who don't know, mass market is like the grocery store chains. There are a few in Florida that you're at, right? Where people can go.
What's crazy is we don't sell. Our company doesn't sell too many of them in Florida, but there are a few chains throughout the Midwest. I think Snook's Supermarket's one of the bigger ones, and a few other places that actually we sell to wholesalers, and then they put it in different mass markets in other locations. So we're spread out quite a bit. We ship to pretty much every region in the country and all over Canada too. All over the world, actually. We got orders going out as far away as New Zealand, and as close by as the town, that we
and then you've touched on this a little bit, but how important the cold chain is. Is there anything specific? I think I heard that Seville needs to be like cooled down. Is there anything? Are all the ferns different in the way that they need to be processed in the cold chain?
Northwestern part of the United States. That's one of the from the mountains up in the Northwest. So yeah, that's important for the Seville too. They have only certain times a year when they harvest, so it's real important for them to chill it where it lasts a long time. Too, we developed something at Fern Trust called our Fern Cool process.
That's what I wanted to know about. Yeah.
To a cold water bath, and then it goes into a pre-cooler where it drains away most of the free water from it while it still maintains the moisture, and it's packed and arranged under refrigeration, and then shipped under refrigeration. Back probably 20 years ago or so, we did a lot of research with the University of Florida, especially when we were exporting by container long ways, what we could do to make the fern last the longest. And believe it or not, it wasn't different atmospheres and all those things. It was just a few degrees of temperature, and the closer we could keep it to freezing without freezing it, the longer.
And I know you wanted to touch a little bit on the state of the market right now. I know that a lot of people are aware, well, a lot of florists are aware, and a lot of wholesalers are aware that there is a shortage of flowers in the market, and that if you're looking for flowers for Mother's Day, the one tip is to order early. Can you tell us a little bit about the greens industry in Florida, how the state of the market is down there?
Yeah, I don't know if it's just because the flowers are in short supply, or just the country's starting to open back up different places, but we have had unprecedented demand for our products this year so far. And this Mother's Day, it's grown bigger than I ever dreamed. Our crop was a little bit late maturing, so we couldn't get in and start harvesting the stuff as early as I'd like. And plus, the housing industry here in Florida is just booming like crazy. I don't know why, but everybody seems to want to move here right now. We lose labor to construction, and so it's been a difficult year to get everybody taken care of. We're doing our best, and the product is of real high quality. It's just the getting it cut, packed, put in a box, and shipped to you is difficult at times. Unfortunately, they're forecasting 3 days of rain for us now. And the problem we have in Florida, I mean, yeah, you can get people to work in the rain, but we get these thunderstorms here that it's not real good to have people working outside when you got the lightning cracking down around everywhere. So it really sets us back. I'm praying that all the rain we get comes at night and not during the daytime.
Yeah, and I think we'll all join you in praying for that. You've been extremely active, and you're on the board for Certified American Grown. What motivates you to be involved in the organization?
Well, I've always been involved very heavily in Farm Bureau, and I thought they were a great advocate for agriculture in general. And we represent less than 2% of the population, agriculture and farmers in general. And when you narrow it down to the floriculture industry, and flowers were even a smaller subset. So we needed to band together to have a common voice to, talk to our legislators and to lobby our government to show them, hey, we're important. It's so important to the economy of this part of Florida, the fern industry. It's probably a huge portion of the income to Northwest Volusia County. So you just, one person going up there and screaming, it doesn't do much good. But when you get a bunch of farmers together, which is very difficult, speaking the same message, people start to listen to you, especially when they see the dollars that we represent, that and how it affects the local economies. So I saw us, losing ground over the years to other places. Luckily, in the greens industry, we were blessed to have most of the market in the United States and not have too much foreign competition. But every year, I saw a little bit more of it disappear to down there. And I want to help American farmers be all that they can be in this country.
Yeah, and so do we. So I'm going to finish up with my favorite question. What is your favorite part of being a foliage farmer?
Well, what's really neat, and I guess it's about our industry in general, the floral industry, is I get to spend most of my days, outside. I'm not stuck in an office all day. So I go into the office and I come out and I'm in nature. It's beautiful. And on top of that, it's kind of bizarre, and I don't think many people in ag get to do this, but I get to work with all the farmers and the ranchers and the guys doing the farm work. And then on the other hand, we deal with artists all over the country, basically. So you deal with two totally different segments of the population. One is artistic, and the other is our farmers. And I love getting to know people from all over the country. I thrive. I talk too much sometimes, but I love meeting new people and going new places. And this business and this industry has allowed me to travel to practically every state in the country and a lot of foreign countries. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, David, for your time and to meet you. And I hope you have a great day. And we'll fingers crossed those thunderstorms come in the evening.
Thank you, Anna, and thanks for putting it together. We appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you. Okay. Bye.